Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I have a question for you guys. Why would you switch from Fuji to Sony? Because that's exactly the question that I have to deal with before switching from Fuji to Sony. So, for context again, I don't know if I switch back or switch because like 14 years ago, I think it's 14 years ago, in 2014, I had Sony Nex and Sony Nex 5N. And I can remember even with those outdated Sony camera, the images are still really sharp. But that's not the reason why I've decided to go back to Sony. History. My first Fujifilm camera was Fujifilm X-T4. And it stayed with me for at least 6 months until X-T5 was released, and I sold my X-T4 because of the weight and get the X-T5. I'm a vlogger and most of the time I film with my camera, and it's hard for me to vlog without looking at the screen, the LCD screen of the camera, like looking at myself. And X-T5 LCD is just tilting, like tilting up and down or move it like left and right. So I sell it again and get the Fuji XH2. When I thought everything is feeling good with XH2, Japan happened and I didn't use it much because it's heavy and I have like stroller and it's kind of, big. So when I came back home from Japan, I decided to get the Fujifilm XS20, which is made for vloggers, right? And I think it's not only for vloggers, but I think it's a powerhouse camera for everything like photography and videography, and it's small and it stayed with me for a while until I wandered and got bored. Huh? Don't be like me. I don't know if I have gas, but don't be like me. It's like, I know, it's a coincidence that when I got bored, I saw Sony A7C2. I got intrigued with the AI features, like AI. Few months ago, AI is something like big, and this is the first time I will experience full frame, and actually, this is my first full frame camera. So what happened is, I switched from Fuji to Sony 7 months ago, and to tell you the truth, for a month of owning Sony, I had these episodes that I want to return it and switch back to Fuji because here's one. I miss film simulation in Fujifilm. The Eterna and everything, right? Classic neg. And number 2, the convenience of not editing my photos and just upload it straight to my social media. 3, well, autofocus didn't matter to me then because I believe any app can fix it. Any app can fix the images, especially the apps. Like the apps right now has AI features that can really sharpen or edit your camera for you. Edit your images for you, right? So, I remember calling my store, the store where I bought this one, that I want to switch or I want to return it and exchange it to XH2S. Well, I don't particularly like XH2S, but I just want to go back to Fuji. And then the staff told me like, what? Yeah, I understand your frustration onto your new system, but why XH2S? That's the question that she asked me. And actually, I don't know too. I just want to go back to Fuji. So my return window has ended. I mean 30 days. And I've decided to stay with Sony and give it a chance, like for 1 month. And if it still bothers me, I'm gonna sell it. That's my plan. Then while I'm like using it, the more I use it, I can see the difference. Like I said, oh, that's why. It was really good when it comes to autofocus, fast autofocus, really sharp images, and low light photography. And the I just saw it when I tried to take photos of my twin nieces. It's showing in the upper left of the camera that I'm taking a picture of an infant. It says infant. Although I had to edit it to add colors to it and adjust it, it's just, you know, satisfying to look at the images like, wow, I look like a professional. Well, editing is a lot of work for sure, and I have to pay like an app. I use Adobe Lightroom for editing my pictures. So another thing is, before, like with Fuji, JPEGs are actually good to go, like good to post. But with Sony JPEGs are a little bit off. So I learned how to shoot in RAW and loving it more than JPEG. And now I don't shoot in JPEGs anymore. So this makes me like shoot in RAW. This is my first time shooting in RAW. And if you'll ask me if this camera is user-friendly, I mean, if it's your first camera, just be patient with it. Learn everything you need so you can use its full potential. But if it's your like me changing or switching to Sony, don't worry, it might frustrate you for a bit, but you will love it. I think I can't tell any pros cons right now, because I get everything that I want from it as of the moment. Oh, maybe there's one cons that I don't know if I considered it cons, but it's kind of small, so your little finger might be a little loose like that. So if you have big hands, I think you need a plate or something, or a cage for your comfort, like hand grips or something, so you can use the camera without like any discomfort. And I think this camera is for everyone who loves exploring, regardless if beginners or professionals. I believe if it interests you that much, you can learn it right away. My overall review to this one: do I love Sony more than Fuji now? No. I mean, these cameras are made for different types of people and different types of work. And if you're gonna say AF of Sony cameras are better than is better than Fuji, I can agree. But this reason will not make me leave Fuji totally. And actually, I wanted to be partnered with my A7C II. I really can't argue on AF or autofocus of Fujifilm, as I believe the imperfection of an individual, like whether it's a thing or a person, is part of their perfection and why they stand out. And if you're gonna ask me which one is better, I can't answer that, but Fuji would make you into photography. Like, you will like to be a photographer because seeing especially the color science of Fuji is lit. So Fuji would make you into photography, while Sony will push you to be more creative. Yeah, that's the exact word. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope I helped you decide whether you will switch to Sony or not. So thank you guys for watching, and see you on my next vlog. Bye!